requested to have a Knox box. If we instituted a waiver system, would you sign a waiver as opposed to being required to have a Knox box?
No.
Why?
It's unconstitutional. I'm going to take it all the way to the Supreme Court. Y'all filed on me, sent a subpoena on me, I'm taking it to the Supreme Court.
Well, that may go away. The court may drop it anyway if the council modifies the ordinance. I'm just asking if it were recommended, would you sign a waiver saying, no, if you have to break my door, you just break my door. You're not.
Absolutely not. It's unconstitutional. I'm not signing any document in regards to a knock box.
Okay.
But I would like to ask, Chief
Yes, sir.
Kelly said his building was grandfathered in and didn't require a knock box. Why?
Okay, so that's a good question. The C of O that was issued to the people that own the building and are the primary owners and operators of that business.
Okay.
There was no stipulation requiring that their Knox box be installed at that time.
So why was there one for mine?
Yours was inspected after theirs was inspected.
My building's just as old as his, if not older, and our businesses started at the same time.
Correct, but the Knox box code on here says that it basically can be enforced at the recommendation of the fire official. At the time that they were doing C of O inspections, when Hook and Ladder, the original owners, applied for C of O, the fire marshal was not requiring Knox boxes uniformly as they started doing soon thereafter.
Okay, we're talking about months later. Chief Kelly, he don't have to have one because he's grandfathered in. Y'all tried to give me a knock box in
But
2019.
Chief Kelly is not the one on the C of O. And the C of O that was issued to Hook and Ladder, you'd have to get the C of O. I don't know when it was issued, but it was issued before. Okay, go ahead.
He's grandfathered in, doesn't have to have one. And when I wrote him back and said my business is the same age as his, he waited 3 days, wrote me back and said, I changed my mind. Knock box is not required because I do not have a new building occupancy.
He doesn't have the new C of O, is what he's talking about. Correct. He didn't get a C of O. It's not under his name.
Okay, does the building have an occupancy permit?
It does, under the original owners.
Okay.
But I will tell you, he does have a Knox box today.
Yeah, but only after I challenged him on all this.
Well, he bought it. He believes in them. I don't. He does. And I only believe in them when it comes to certain businesses that should have a Knox box, like a big box store that has a fire suppression system that might have a particular key or something to manage that system. I do believe that those should have a Knox box.
The only knock box required by the Texas Marshal is for government buildings, not public buildings, by the way.
I don't read any of that, though, in this code. You may be familiar with practicing, but in my municipal experience, limited, and the fire chiefs, that is not the case.
Again, a code does not trump constitutional law.
I get that,
Okay.
but where is there case law already established that a Knox box is unconstitutional? There's not.
Because it's been thrown out of court before it gets there and they settle.
That may be the case. That may be the case.
I've been researching. It is the case. Okay, so Kelly's saying I need a knock box to get into my building for emergencies. But you, yourself, were going to force my door open for a pallet that wasn't even a code violation.
No. We had a search warrant to execute on your building. If you didn't allow us in to inspect the building, we would have to force our way into the building.
Okay, so then why do you need a key for an emergency, but for a non-emergency you can force the door in?
Excellent question. I support you on that. And I asked the fire department, you can take a Halligan tool to that door. How long is it going to take you to get open? Quicker than it would going through the Knox box in your case. But not every case is like your case. That's why we need to have ways to where we say a Knox box is needed here, but it's not necessarily needed here. And that's what we're doing. You help bring attention to that. We're fixing that.
Okay, I have a few questions left.
Yes, sir.
One is on the mayor's building. He
Yes,
doesn't
sir.
have a knock box.
He does not. His C of O is probably older than this community's been incorporated.
Okay.
It was never stipulated, and it's not been requested in any of his biennials.
But he's already had them since I've opened my gym. He had to have.
What? He's had biennials, yes.
So
Correct.
why is it requested of mine and not his?
Because yours was a condition of your C of O. It's not a condition of his.
I'll think on that one, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So your warrant was signed by code enforcement, right, Corey? He is a level 1 code enforcement agent, meaning he is not certified in fire, electrical, nor building codes. How did he serve me that warrant? The warrant specifically says fire code and electrical codes.
So we have discussed that already. He's the affiant on that. on that affidavit.
Yeah, he signed it. under
And the
oath.
judge approved the warrant is valid. If you can get the warrant thrown out of court, invalidate that warrant, then we lose the whole case and you go
I am
forward.
getting it thrown out of court.
Okay.
100%.
You may be able to. It wouldn't be the first time that, the court or the government's gone against the people that are enforcing the laws. It happens.
Okay, so Code Book Section 573 says that you have to verbally or written give me notice that there is a code violation. Correct?
Yes, correct.
All right. Corey came to my property on June 16th for a knockbox and a pallet. I got no verbal and no written. 13 days later, you showed up with a warrant. Means you disregarded your whole section of code enforcement.
Well, so let me explain that. We had already done, the fire department had did their initial inspection. You didn't appreciate, you didn't like it. Fine, we understand that. You appealed parts of that inspection to Nathan Borrego. Borrego went back to the location with you. You got a ticket, and I guess there was a discussion. Borrego and them got sent off. So nothing could be confirmed as far as that initial inspection, as far as compliance with the
The
initial
only thing
inspection.
they came back for was that outlet specifically. There
Because
was nothing
that's
else.
one of the things that you brought up.
One thing. The inspection was complete. There was 3 things wrong. 2 things I agreed with. I fixed. 1 thing wrong. Outlet. Outlet, charged by John Gomez, said it was illegal, who is not an electrical inspector, by the way. John Borrego and him argued with me about it. Took it to court, thrown out. Once that's thrown out, there is no other issues for that yearly inspection that you'll keep going back to.
So the internal staff discussion about that with the prosecutor is she did not like that charge was filed under the electric code. She would much rather have it filed under the IFC code.
Yeah, the one Chief Kelly sent to me, and
Yes.
I corrected him on that. That is wrong too.
Okay, but she wanted it filed that way. So she dismissed the electrical code violation so that it could be refiled under the appropriate violation.
So y'all
that
came
she
back
saw.
just for that issue then, is what
No,
you're saying?
no,
No?
no. We came back to complete the inspection because you were not happy with any step of the way of that.
Inspection was complete. Your guys came back twice for the inspection. Said it was done. There was only 3 things wrong. I fixed 2. 1 was thrown out. What else is there to do?
These things all listed in this report that we have displayed on the
No, that's a
TV and
totally
sent to you.
different inspection.
These are the things that remain wrong, though. These are the things that
There
have
was
to be tended
nothing
to.
wrong after that box got thrown out. The inspection should have been completed and done.
Okay.
And instead, y'all came back, found pallets outside, and came back into my building. Y'all violated your own code book to come back into my
No,
building.
Found rubbish,
No.
according to the affidavit,
But
and
look it up right now. And
Knox
you know I'm right.
box.
That rubbish is bullshit. It's for alleyways.
okay. I'm not.
You looked
but
up
see,
everything else.
It's
Why
not.
are you looking up that?
I'm not gonna. What do you want me to look up?
The code, rubbish, what it says. And it says
Rubbish.
specifically there has to be something in the alley, not against my wall.
Okay, but see, you're saying that the rubbish was pallets. I don't know what the rubbish was that Corey was referring to. He's going to have to testify to that. What rubbish he was referring to.
Go back and watch the video where Corey goes outside and talks about the pallets that were outside.
He may. I'm not saying
And
he
there's
did.
not a single citation about a pallet outside during your warrant.
But he's saying rubbish? No, because the inspection was for the fire inspection.
I don't think you understand what that code means, rubbish.
Okay.
It's long. There's all kinds of verbiage all the way through.
Okay.
Always about grass or stuff in the alleyways.
Sure. I'm familiar with the rubbish
Okay, so
code
my
for the
grass was
city
not
ordinance.
high and there was nothing in the alleyways.
Okay. Well, Corey witnessed rubbish, and that was one of the code implications that he used in the affidavit, on top of not having a Knox box, which was another. You also, though, had, you've got the outlet that is on the exterior of the building by that door that has an open electrical thing.
What? I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm sorry.
Let
You
me
have to
show
show
you.
me.
Where the hell is it here? This outlet right here is
What?
open up. I don't know if he hit you with that on the thing or not, but there should be a panel covering that. You can't really see it in this picture.
Yeah, there's no outlet tower outside there at all.
No, it's not an outlet. It's a light.
There's
it's
no
an-
light out there either.
It's an exterior light mounted on the building.
That's not. But there's no light out there on that place. It's on the other side.
By the door?
It's on the other side. My light.
Well, I'll have to go back and look, but I'm pretty certain that I saw it right there.
Regardless, that's not issued. There's no citation on that.
I'm kind of surprised that he didn't. The other thing on the exterior, though, are the what he's pointing out about the
And I corrected
this
him.
matter right here as far as the labeling.
Yep, and I corrected him on that.
Okay, so
That's only if you cannot identify it.
How can I identify it though if
The
I
power
don't?
source? There's only one power source going in my building. One.
What are all those other panels
That goes to
for?
the progress, not mine.
How would we know?
Not my problem. Their building is not my problem.
I understand that, but that's why there has to be labels on it. So if
For
we
their
have
building,
to cut
not mine. Mine has one power cord going through.
for both,
You can easily identify which one's mine.
okay. Well,
I also corrected him on what that actually means, and you have the data on it. I'm not going to go through it now. You can go through it yourself, but I showed him exactly what he's talking
Okay.
about, and he's incorrect.
so Mr. Followell, the main purpose of visiting with you today was that these are issues that are all going to be going to court. I really don't think that we need to go to court at all.
No, I'm taking them all to court because I'm going to get them all thrown out. My objective is to get them all thrown
Okay.
out because they sworn under affidavit, they sworn under oath that those were right.
Okay.
And I've corrected them that they are not right, and they're still putting them on me.
So, but going forward, I can tell you these violations, be it at your location or any other business in town, no matter what the court decides, these are still violations
They're not violations.
of the code.
No, so they're not. And I've corrected you on every single one of them.
No.
The only violation you have that will stick was the box in front of the breaker box, and I corrected it. All the rest of them will not stick.
So you're saying this one right here with the address on the back door, you're saying that that won't stick either, though the fire marshal is...
100%, unless he gets the building code guy to say, yes, you need that. With that said, my building was rebuilt from Harvey, and I can have it back the way it was. That was never there.
But that's
ever.
not what the code says that you shared. The code defers back to the fire code, and this says that he can require it in this location, as he's done.
100% with the building code's approval under approved location. With that said, also, it has to be mandated that every single location have that, not just discriminate and pick on me.
And I told you that from the get-go. Any setup like this that has multiple businesses under one structure,
There's no code
is
about
going to
multiple
be.
businesses. That's just
It's-
his opinion.
You're right,
And
but
his opinion is not code.
his opinion is being deferred to by this code. By this code on the Knox box, it defers to the fire official's opinion. It does defer. The code defers to that opinion.
Correct. And the approval thing comes from your building inspector.
It does not say that anywhere in this code.
Go look what the definition of approved is and then get back to me.
It does. I'm telling you, it doesn't say that in this code. It does not say that in the IFC code.
I'll send it to you if you want. I'm right, 100% right. And you should have already had it because I sent it to you yesterday on that.
It's not. It wasn't on there on the
It's
messages.
there. I'll show it to you later. I'll send it to you as soon as I get home. Well, I'm almost done, so.
Okay.
Okay. So with that said, there was, based on the information, there was a warrant sent out to my property. Do you mind sharing me the emails talking to me about the warrant and what happened if we're going to be 100% transparent?
What warrant?
The warrant to my building. Y'all talked
Okay.
via email back and forth about the warrant, what was going to go on the warrant, what we're going to do about the warrant, how are you going to initiate the warrant. Is that transparency? Are you going to give that to me, or do I have to go to Freedom of Information Act to get that?
I don't know what you're talking about. What communication did we have?
Y'all talked about the warrant. Had to happen. Y'all had to talk about the warrant.
Yes, we had
Deliver one.
meetings in Gary's office
there's
with
no
the
email?
prosecutor. I don't know if there are or not. I could look. You could put in the request. We'll do the research.
Oh, I will put in the request. I find it hard to believe they don't know. I would say y'all would have to talk to each other about what the warrant was.
We did, though. We had several meetings in the city manager's office and with the prosecutor to have these discussions.
Okay, so was there a rough draft of a warrant?
There was when Corey wrote the warrant up, the warrant got sent for approval. Yes, of course.
What does that mean?
What do you mean?
Corey sent
The
who?
prosecutor approves the
So
the
Corey made the
affidavit.
warrant via email, sent it to the prosecutor,
The prosecutor approves the warrant.
not to
correct.
you.
Yes, we all had insight and input onto the warrant,
That's
but the
what I want.
prosecutor ultimately approves it.
That's what I want.
Okay, well then you can put in a request and we'll research it.
Okay? I'm not going to go into Kelly not wearing a body cam because I already know that's illegal, but I am going to
It's
ask
not
you,
illegal. We did not utilize
Do you have a
any.
grant?
We did not utilize any grant funds to make a purchase of body camera.
Okay,
we
fair enough.
we
if you
received
did
funds.
Not, if you did not get a grant or receive funds from the government, then you don't have to do it. But if you did, there's protocols for that, and you have to.
The
under
Crime
investigation.
Control and Prevention District funded the initial purchase of that, and that is a supplement to. That is a taxpayer voted in organization. That is a tax
Not a grant,
that
is what I'm
provides.
asking.
It's not a
Okay.
grant. Yes.
Then fair enough.
I've tried to explain that to you though.
I didn't hear